Hey guys, good morning. Happy Wednesday. So today's business networking tip is called How to Be a Great Networker. Simple answer to that, help others. So when you're out at a networking event and you see that person standing by themselves, a little unsure, go get them. Go help them out. Go introduce them to people. Sometimes after we've been networking for years, we forget about what it's like to be that new person. You walk into a room, you don't know anyone. You're like, oh my God, what am I doing? Go find that person. I tell you guys, I made some great connections and great friends over the years simply by just helping people. I remember the first time I went to an event and I had that deer in the headlights look, and a guy came over and he smiled. He goes, "First time networking, son." I'm like, yeah, it is, and it's a little overwhelming. So go over, introduce yourself, and then walk that person around and introduce them to people. And I've used this strategy a lot. As you guys know, I've mentioned before, I don't really go to other networking events anymore. When you do 20 events a month yourself, you don't really want to do a lot more other networking events. It's like doing your job full time and then go and do it for a couple more hours at night. So it really doesn't make a lot of sense. But go around and walk that person around, introduce them to people. What I found when I do that, and I introduce them to potential clients, referral partners, the person that I'm introducing and the person who's receiving the introduction are both like, wow, it's really nice of you to do that. So it helps your brand, people see you as the guy who cared enough or the person who cared enough to help. So go do that. But also when you're at a networking event and you meet somebody, think about who you know that they could benefit from meeting. I spend a lot of time doing this going, hey, do you know this person? And then I take the time to introduce them to them. The key is you have to actually do the introduction, because this will happen a lot. Well, like, hey, do you know that person? I'll introduce you. And sometimes nothing happens. You forget to follow through. Don't forget to follow through. That's kind of important. So often what I'll do is just say, hey, do you know this person? Do you want me to introduce you to them? And I'll try to either pull out my phone or, if it's super busy an event, going, hey, just can you do me a quick favor? Can you just send me an email saying, hey, you promised me to introduce me to this person? But often what I'll do is say, send me an email, I'll introduce you. Because sometimes I want to see just how committed you are. If I'm going to introduce you to someone, I want to make sure you really want to meet them. Because often, what are you going to do when you're at an event? Someone says, hey, do you want to meet this person? You go, no. No one's going to do that and stuff. So, sometimes if I mention it and I can see they're not, jumping up and down saying, oh yeah, I'd definitely love to meet that person. If they have a little hesitation, I'm like, hey, send me an email. I'm more than happy to introduce you and stuff. So, take the time to do that. But I find it really changes the game a lot when you just put other people ahead of yourself. When you're not at the event, just trying to, get new clients, new customers, but just to be that networking buddy, that networking ambassador. But also using the networking buddy term, invite people to events. Because again, guys, think back, and some of you guys were still in the same boat. You're like, man, I got to go to a networking event. For some of us, it's, hey, I'd rather go get a root canal than go to a networking event. So it can be a little overwhelming. So invite the person, and take some time to introduce them around. That's a great way to build relationships. But also if that person is your referral partner, it's like, hey, let's meet and we'll commute in together and stuff. Now you get some time on both ends of the event to, get to chat, get to know each other. It's a real simple way to build relationships. But it's amazing to me when I took the approach of just trying to help other people, how great it helped my business. Because then people, I just like, hey, I have someone new to meet. But I like to use the expression stay pure. When you're doing it, say, hey, I introduced you to someone, now you owe me. That's not networking, guys. Please don't do that. Stay pure. That's the best expression I use for that. Is help people because it's the right thing to do, not because you're hoping they're going to, give you clients back. That's today's networking tip, simple tip. Again, put people first. To, take the time, introduce people around, especially when you see that person at a networking event that's new. I spend a lot of time at the events, looking at, hey, you're standing by yourself. But also, one thing I almost forgot, it's important, respect the person. Because I'm kind of high strung and I go fast. And occasionally I'll have someone at an event who's a little shy, and I'm like, all right, you ready? We're going to introduce you to everyone. And they're like, don't do that, So now I'm like, okay, go ahead, introduce you to somebody, and I'll say, are you ready for someone else now? Because sometimes they're just like, all right, Cal, give me a minute, let me go grab a bottle of water, let me breathe, because you're overwhelming me by trying to introduce me to everyone in the building. So got to remember that too. So all right, that's today's networking tip. As always, tell me what your tips are. What do you consider someone to be a good networker? Kind of curious your opinion on this. Leave me a comment on it. If you like it, hit the like and share button. If you want to come to events, you can find them at friendsofkevin.com as well as newenglandb2bnetworking.com. Thanks for watching. Hope you're having a truly dazzling day.